Hello everyone and welcome to K-Tapes. It's been a while once again. It's been perhaps 2 months, almost 2 months. I would say maybe a month and a half since I made a video about videotapes. My last videos that I've posted were more like stuff taken from tapes, and I posted also something about a video game, just other things just for fun. By the way, don't think that the channel is taking another turn because of that. It's just because I've been very busy and I just wanted to post something else, and also because right now I visited Seoul twice in the past month and a half, and I couldn't find anything really that would stand out or that it was worth talking about. Like I would find stuff that I have already but just in better condition, or and other movies that are perhaps not really worth talking about. So anyway, what I have today, I have a side on my left. I do have a pile of about, I would say, 11 tapes that were purchased online because those were the ones that actually stood out and that were actually worth grabbing. Among those, there's perhaps, I think, 1 or 2 that I grabbed in Seoul, and yeah, that's about it for the past month and a half, guys. Nothing much more. Okay, so let's start with something fun. Here we have a animation Bigfoot. I remember that I had the toy when I was a kid. I had that truck with the key for the ignition that you would stick like on the top of the truck to power it on, and it had like a little lever to go forward, backward. Anyway, it was a fun toy. It was like, that was actually pretty popular. I mean, in Canada it was. I don't know in the States if it was huge or not, but I'm guessing it was. Yeah, there you go, Bigfoot and the Muscle Machines. And that's actually from a friend of mine, Korean guy. He wanted a copy of it, so that's why he gave it to me. So anyway, I felt like I should show you this kind of fun little tape right there. So there you have it, Bigfoot. Okay, let's move on to my next selection. This also came from the same person. It's actually as you can see, a kung fu film. I was gonna say I forgot the title, but thankfully they wrote it in English on the cover, which is quite unusual. Usually they just put like Korean or Chinese characters, but they put the English title for this one, which is Against Rascals with Kung Fu. Well, it says Kung Fu, but yeah, just a typo right there. So Against Rascals with Kung Fu. There you go. So yeah, this again, I'm not a pro when it comes to kung fu films. I mean, like, about the versions that are available, like, is it widescreen, full screen, is it in Mandarin, Cantonese? I mean, I do check this stuff, but I'm not really that knowledgeable about. I keep forgetting which one has what, or which version is what. So, but with this one, I checked it out, and it's in original Cantonese, I think. Anyway, if it's originally in Mandarin, then it's in Mandarin. It's just me that I'm confused, but either way, it's in its original language. I'm gonna go with Cantonese, but I'm not too sure. So yeah, and I think it was full screen, and I believe it also had English subtitles, surprisingly. So really cool grab, and this is from Sambu. So yeah, this is quite old. I'm guessing like late 80s, maybe something around like 87, 88. So quite old tape. The box itself is a bit beat up. The tape is in good condition. The sleeve is fine, although I mean would be better if it was in a slightly nicer condition, because it has some sun fade. But overall, it's it's a good pick because you don't see this tape very often. I think I've seen it only once or twice, including this one. Okay, the next one. This one is such a beauty, by the way. I happened to sell one copy. I sold one copy of this a few weeks ago. Only to, I mean, I was checking online again because I always check online for some stuff up for sale by some auction websites or even Korean collectors who do get rid of some of their tapes. And this one surprisingly popped up, and actually it's the second time I see it, and this is the second copy I've ever got. So the other one is actually in the hands of an American collector. And this is the second copy I've ever found, and really lucky for me, this one is in really good shape. Usually when you have a spine like this, which would be, let's say, yellow or red, those are the colors that will easily fade away. Sometimes if you have blue, it tends to stay better, but red, pink, that's a no-go. It will usually fades really quickly if it's, of course, in the sun. This one has a bit of fade, obviously. So as you can see, the pink on the back is slightly more reddish, pinkish, and see. But nonetheless, I mean, if you compare it like this, it's a beautiful copy. And also, surprisingly, the case is almost feels new. I mean, there's no scratches or scuffs or anything. So very beautiful copy of Mausoleum. Really fun film. So this is gold. Oh, and by the way, of course, gotta mention it, but it's our beloved DNS logo. Another DNS. I picked this one up from the internet once again. It was a tape that was auctioned. I believe to be honest, I think I got this for like $5. I mean, it's not the kind of tapes that for me would sell easily, because not many people are after those jungle action films that much. But for me, the only selling point, of course, was, yes, DNS. We love those DNS's tapes. So yeah, this is it's called The Secret of the, oh my God, Inca's Empire. I checked it out, like I looked it up a month ago. I had this on my pile since a month. I think it was like some old Italian movie from, would I say the 80s? Because I have two of those. One is from the 80s, one is from the 60s. I think this one is from the 80s. And yeah, Italian. If not, it's Filipino. Anyway, I need to double check. But anyway, it's a fun pick. Not a tape that you see very often. So that's why for me, at $5, it was a no-brainer. All right, next tape we have again is same genre. Those jungle adventure films. This one is called The Mind of Kilimanjaro. I believe this one is the 1960s film, perhaps 1967. I have to look it up again on IMDb. Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, nothing that fancy about it. I just love the artwork, and I actually also love the price. So that's why that was like not a very pricey pick. So, and again, this comes from the internet, because to find this in the wild is actually quite hard, to be honest. So, I mean, if you see it online, the price is good. Just go for it. So I went for this one as well. Okay, now we're back with DNS, and this time, this one again was an online purchase. But turns out that this tape is quite rare. It's a Taiwanese adventure film. Of course, it's like Aladdin, Sinbad movie. I forgot the original title, but it's that Taiwanese Sinbad film. So the fun. I mean, I checked it a little bit. It looks really fun. You know, it has like those weird fun looking late 80s special effects, like stuff like Ghostbusters, right? Like those like lasers and stuff. So yeah, this film has tons of it. So it's I'm looking for my words here. I'm just saying that it's a great tape. Basically, yeah, and it's a very rare film as well. The only thing also is that it's not a Cantonese film. I mean, it's a Taiwanese film. Therefore, it should be in Mandarin. But for this film, it has been dubbed in Korean. And the reason why it's perhaps because at the time this was for children. So usually children films or like animation in Korea are usually dubbed in Korean. Otherwise, everything else is normally subbed. So that's just like a one rare occasion where a film was dubbed instead of subbed. So there you have it. And again, DNS. Okay, the next one. This one was not from the internet. This one, I picked it up in Seoul. It was laying on the top of a pile where I usually go for, to check out for tapes. So, I mean, again, I was like, oh yeah, I need this right away. So I picked it up. This is Body Count, Italian film, horror film, obviously. Quite rare as well, and in pretty good condition. Although, perhaps right here in the corner, it was like folded. But otherwise, yeah, I mean, this is not something you see very often, especially, like I said, in the wild. It's not something you would normally find. So, I mean, it was there, I picked it up. No matter how, like the scuff or a little fold on the back, I didn't really care about that. So, voila. Next one, this was in my boxes. I can't remember if I showed it before. If I did, well, I'm sorry, I show it again. And if I didn't, well, it's a good thing. Then you can just go and check my old videos. But this comes from the store in the countryside that has like thousands and thousands of tapes. And I'm so happy about this copy because, as you can see, it is gorgeous, and it's just like, it looks like brand new. Like no sun fade on the spine. I mean, this is one of the tapes that I would just call mint. It's mint, all right. So that's a, if I recall, 1996 film. It's one of those. It's been remade like 2 or 3 times. I keep forgetting the title, although it's written in Korean, like Cemetery of. Okay, there you go. I'll write it down somewhere here when I'm doing the editing. Anyways, it's a Namginam film. Namginam, who I met, by the way, very nice guy, although he passed away earlier, like in 2019, like July 2019, I think. But this film has a special place in his filmography, especially because it was a very ambitious project, and sadly also it was the film that apparently caused him to go bankrupt. Like, he put his own money in this film and it was like a total flop. So yeah, I believe because of the genre and everything, and since it was released kind of late 1996, and those films were more popular in like mid 80s, early 80s, and this came out late, so no one cared about that. And Korea back in 1996 was just coming like really mainstream on the international platform, with some films like the Ginkgo Bed and earlier films like that. That's when, yeah, Korea really started going abroad with their movies, and this was just actually, I think, a terrible film, but nonetheless is quite rare now, especially in this condition. It's almost impossible to find, and I'm really happy to own this copy. Okay, now 3 last tapes I have. So this one was also something I picked up in Seoul. I was with a friend and he pointed it out for me. He said, hey, that looks like vampire hookers. And I'm like, oh shit, yeah. So he didn't take it. I'm like, if you don't mind, I'll take it. So very nice of him to just, he left it for me to take. It's in decent condition. Of course, has some bit of sun fade. It's something to be, expected with Korean tapes in 2020, right? But otherwise, very good looking copy. Here, of course, you can spot like the weirdness going on with, Korean design when it comes to tapes from the early 90s. As you can spot here, yeah, you have Twin Peaks. Here's the Joker from the Tim Burton's Batman. Beetlejuice, another Tim Burton film. This one I'm not too sure, and vampire hooker. So there you go. It's a fun mashup of pictures, and probably if you look at the pictures here, I'm not too. I don't remember, but maybe those two are. I don't know if they're in the movies. You tell me in the comments. All right, so vampire hookers. There you go. Okay, the two last pieces are very, very nice. First I have Wolf and Queen, or Devil Woman. My god, I keep forgetting the titles. Devil Woman, I was gonna say Ninja, but no. Anyway, Wolf and Queen. It's Wolf, Devil. My god, not even drunk. My god, I keep forgetting titles. I guess it's age. So yeah, this one is now quite rare, and as you can see, this is a small box, small clamshell. See, it's slightly smaller than what we call the regular clamshells, and that also means it's now harder to find because Korean collectors actually go for those. Believe it or not, it's kind of a selling point. Oh, it's a small case, therefore it's more collectible. When people buy tapes from me, and I say that, I always feel bad because, oh, how come this is more expensive? Oh, simply because the box is smaller. Well, yeah. And also, it's those tapes are usually much older, up to 1987, I would say. So from the very beginning of Korean tapes, which was like very early 80s, I would say 82, 81, up until 87, 88. Some companies made their releases in small cases like this one. And other companies also made two releases. They would have a small case and a larger one for like a subsequent release. So this one quite rare. Wolf and Queen, and yeah, it's been a while since I came across a copy, so I was very happy to find another one. And there's another copy also in Korea of that. The label is Oasis, and they released also their own release of the film, and it has the same cover art as the Ocean Shore release from Hong Kong. So there you have it, Wolf and Queen. And the very last tape I have for you guys today is Hollywood Cop. Yes, Hollywood Cop by Amir Shervan. I know in the States this tape is not that crazy hard to get. I mean, I know that people are really after his movies for some reason. I know they're hilarious and they have like a cult status. By that I mean, of course, Samurai Cop. There you go. So Samurai Cop, which goes under the name of Rambo Cop, and here you have Hollywood Cop, and in Korea they also released Killing American Style. They might have also released another of his film, I'm not sure, but perhaps they also released Young Rebels, but I would have to check for that. I'm not 100% sure. It would be great if they did and I could find a copy of that. But by the way, so far, this one happens to be, in my experience, the hardest one to find of his three films that I know exist. I've been able to locate only one copy One of my friends have a copy as well, so that makes 2. Killing American Style, I believe I found 3 copies overall, and Samurai Cup I've been able to find at least almost 7 copies in total. And by the way, they all sold out like hotcakes, and they were all like 150 plus each copy, by the way. So those are very high demand tapes, and you can get a very good price for them. But I would rank perhaps Killing American Style as the number 1 on the list. That one usually goes for around 200, depending on the condition. I had a near mint copy which went for, I think it was 250 or almost 300 with the shipping, or somewhere around there. So quite collectible. And this is, by the way, this is perhaps his most rare film, his rarest film on tape in Korea, because I know only of 2 copies, including this one. That I've seen throughout the time that I've been collecting. So it's quite hard to find peace here. Now, if I would quote a price for this one, I put it up there for around almost 200. I finally got about 150 for it because this one just got sold, which is not too bad. I was expecting a bit more, but it is what it is. So, because like I said, I think this tape goes for about $40 in the States. The American copy. So that's why people are like, nah, it's a bit much. And people who really want his film, this director's movies, they would rather go for Samurai Cop or Killing American Style. All right, I have one more thing to show you guys. It's just a little fun thing for, to wrap this up. I bought this in Seoul, just a little gadget. I thought it was cute. So what it is it's just a little figure. And it's a little cat that looks like a gangshi, those hopping vampires. And this is like a little Japanese toy or Japanese figure. It's not Korean, but I just thought it was cute. So let's do a quick unwrapping of this, shall we? I'll just mess up the box. Doesn't really matter. I'm not that much of a collector. I just want the figure itself because I thought it was cute. Just like an animal. There you go. So cute. Wow. That'll be looking really good on my shelf. Alright guys, so that's all for today, and I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please put a like and subscribe. If you didn't, just put a dislike. And I hope to be able to do more videos, well, obviously about tapes, in the coming month or weeks, because I'm officially almost on vacation, so I will have more time. And if I go to Seoul, I'll try to film perhaps a new video hunt if I can. All right, so see you again next time.